Happy Facebook Live time. My name is Melissa Kerman with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse, and I am live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I share my videos on YouTube, so you might be watching live or on the replay, either on Facebook or YouTube. So either way, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Excuse me. I have some projects to share with you, some announcements of things going on, and I was actually going to share some personal stuff today. It's been a really hard week, and as the day went on, I realized I just want to put that stuff in a box. I call it compartmentalizing. So life is a little bit easier when you can take your troubles and just kind of say, I'm not thinking about that right now. Can't think about it right now. Not going to do it. So I'd love to know if any of you guys use that strategy. Definitely a useful one today. So anyway, on the subject of updates, I see people joining in. Yay. Welcome, everybody. Update. So starting today, Stampin' Up! Started a Designer Series paper sale. So select designer papers are available at 15% off. Yay. Oh, hi, Christy. Hi, Richard. So fun. Let's see. I just have to look up every once in a while and like, squirrel, see a comment, respond. Anyway, so that is going on for the whole month of October. So super fun to be able to get designer paper at a discount. If you love designer paper, go for it. It's great. I am actually sharing projects today with designer paper. They don't happen to be the designer papers that are on sale, but you know, still, we can enjoy designer paper in a different way. Okay, so next up, World Card Making Day is this Saturday, October 3rd. I hope you guys are making cards, sharing cards, sending cards in celebration of that. And let's see what else. Okay, I have a technique class that is my October class that I'm working on right now. It's called Glazed Mosaic. Came up with the name myself and with the help from a friend. And it is an original. Super excited about it. I'm still working on projects, and I sent updates to those of you who signed up for my technique class for October with some dates, so you'd have an idea of what's going on with that. So stay tuned for more details about how to sign up if you're not already signed up, and sneak peeks on my website, and those will be coming really soon. And last but not least, Stampin' Storage, if you guys are familiar with it, great stamping and organizing and crafting studio company, is doing a 15% off store-wide sale between now and October 5th. I am an affiliate for Stampin' Storage, so if you want to go check them out, check out all the cool products they have. I have several of them. And you use the link on my main blog page. If you click on blog on my website, it'll take you to that main blog page. On the right hand side, there's a link to Stampin' Storage. If you decide to splurge and buy some fun organizing things, I would so appreciate it if you'd use my link. I do get a very small commission from anybody who uses the link. So thank you if you do it in advance. Hi, Kathleen. Just happened to look up. Hi, Sue. Yay. I know there are lots more of you out there saying hello, and I will definitely be looking later at the comments. Okay, so that's pretty much it for announcements. Today I've got a couple of projects for you that feature the Queen Anne's Lace stamp set. I shared that last week, but I was playing and I created a whole bunch of things, so I decided to share some more today. They do use Designer Series paper. I'll be using 2 different Designer Series papers on my projects. And they are pretty simple projects, the kinds of things you can make a lot of fairly easily. So it's always fun to have that kind of project, because sometimes we just need to make a lot of something, right? So I'm gonna turn the camera around and get started showing you the projects. All right, so I'm going to be using these 2 stamp sets. My goodness, hello, get my words right. 2 stamp sets. I don't know what happened there. Mainly the Queen Anne's Lace, but then I really love some of the small little sentiments in this set. So decided to use that. My sentiment is just really, low key and kind of just a small accent on the card. So that's for what I'm using to start with. So now, what I'm going to be using is the designer papers that are the new in color papers. And in these papers, there are 4 different patterns and, of course, 5 different colors for the in colors. So I'm just going to show you those just so you can see them all. And then there are basically 4 different patterns because you have both sides to play with. Let's see what we got. So my Cinnamon Cider, Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, what is that one called? Just Jade, and Misty Moonlight. Now for my card today, I'm using some of this pattern, which could be perceived as wood grain, or it could be like water. That's what it makes me think of a little bit. So, and then I'm also going to be doing one with this pattern. And one of the things I love about this sort of neutral, simple pattern paper is that it allows you to stamp on top of it. And it's creates some really fun focal pieces without nearly as much work. So I'm using my embossing buddy, my anti-static tool, my Versamark, and I'm just going to stamp this main floral image in the stamp set on my focal piece, and this is my focal piece. This piece measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches, 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm going to start with one image up on the left. And then I'm going to do this bottom image. It's always the tricky part, seeing where the last one was, down low. And then the third one I'm going to do at essentially a third height, just to vary those images and make sure that they, you know, look kind of natural. I'm trying to create a scene here. All right, next I'm going to put it in my white embossing powder. And then you're going to just see those images appear, which is always fun. Hopefully no overlaps. I don't think I did. Now you're seeing another one of the patterns back here. So that's pattern number 3. It's got words on it, although it's in another language of some sort. There's some English, there's some other, what looks like German. I don't know. Now I also, and I forgot this last time too, I did stamp another single image in this lower corner. It just seemed kind of bare, and I wanted that to look more like a row of flowers, or a flower garden. So here's what we got for our focal. Now I'm going to heat emboss this, and I actually am not going to do it on camera, but I'm going to finish this one and show it to you later, so you're not waiting around while I do my heat embossing. And what I've done is I've heat embossed another one on my Bumblebee Designer Series paper, and of course this is the pattern that sort of, I don't know, it looks like jeans material to me, but it's already heat embossed. So we got that step out of the way. And then what I'm going to do is take my same color ink, my Bumblebee ink, with this image, which is the sort of second half of the floral image. So this is a 2-step stamp image. Now you could use this image by itself, but it just enhances things to kind of fill in the flowers, if you will. So I'm essentially going to create a little bit of a shadow on each one of these, and I kind of want it to not be exactly on top because I want to be able to see some of that color. So I'm sort of creating a little bit of a shadow. I actually got a little bit too much right on top of it on that one, so let's see if I can be more off on this one. Almost like shadow stamping, so I did that a little bit better on that one. Now I could actually go over this other one a second time, which I am going to actually do, because I just want more variation in the look. And then over here, now you might notice I have my piece on one of my little plasticized pieces because it already has adhesive on the back. Again, just to save a step, save time, and get to show you more without taking as much time. All right, so that's pretty much it for that. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach this to a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And then, now I have done these in, this will be the third color, the green will be the fourth color. I will show you those before we're done today. I'm just going to take some of this, what is it called? Crinkled seam binding. Love this versatile ribbon. It's really easy to work with because it's thin and super easy to tie. And I'm going to tie it around the bottom of my card, just with a little knot. Now when I do it, I kind of like to tie it real tight, so I'm bowing the paper a little bit. Can you see how it's going to lift it up there? That way, if it releases a little bit when I do the knot, it'll have a little bit, it'll still be tight. So as you can see, it's not bowed now, so it did release a little bit. It kind of naturally does that. And then I'm just going to snip off the ends. I like little, sort of demure little ends to my ribbon. No long tails, generally speaking. So there's my focal piece so far. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Bonnie. I just happened to look up and see your comment. Such a random thing when I managed to look up. All right, and then I'm going to actually take one of my foam adhesive sheets. I've showed these before, but I'm kind of getting addicted to them. Why isn't the ink from the Bumblebee coming off? Okay, well, actually it is, but it's just, what you mean on here? It's going to resist it on the white. In fact, I probably should wipe that off. Make sure I don't get it somewhere. But what's showing in the background is just, you know, just a little bit of that image. Because I stamped it not directly over the top, but a little bit at the top. I hope that answers your question. Anyway, these foam adhesive sheets, I just love them. I used to, you know, when I made cards, I'd put a dimensional, one on each corner and then one in the middle. And now I'm so addicted to having the whole thing solid and all popped up. And these sheets are just wonderful for that. So I try to be a little bit conservative and maybe do strips instead of a whole thing, but you can actually do the whole thing, and I have done that on things, specifically if the item is kind of misshapen. Maybe it's a piece of watercolor paper or a technique, but I'm going to go ahead and just put a big bunch of these foam adhesive pieces on the back. And that way it's not going to get smushed down inadvertently. All right, and there I'm also tacking down that ribbon too, which is a nice little plus. And now I've got a piece of the Bumblebee for my card base, and this is just going to go on here. Now, one of the things I love about these foam adhesive sheets was that not easy. Instead of having to take all the little tiny dimensionals, the backings off, I just boop, boop, boop. Oh, I got all three of them off in like a second. Just love that. Okay, so we're almost done. Super easy, right? Now, I have taken that little sentiment, that little thank you. You guys know I always need thank yous. From the, what is the name of that set again? Hand Drawn Blooms, right? And I heat embossed it on a piece of Bumblebee cardstock. So this is, you know, your monochromatic design, right? I love monochromatic designs. Super simple and easy. And it's a lot less thinking than when you have to do a multicolored color scheme. Now I will say, when you're working with designer paper, when it's a multicolored designer paper, it's an awesome way to come up with a color scheme. But with these kinds of papers, monochromatic is really pretty cool. So there's my finished Bumblebee card. Let me show you the other two that I made. And of course the Just Jade will be coming to my website on Saturday. So there's my Misty Moonlight version. Stamped the flowers just a little bit differently on that one. And because the ink is darker, I don't know, you might be able to see it a little bit more. Now, I don't know. Now I want your opinion. So this is sort of the jeansy background. This is the wood grain or water background, depending on how your eye interprets it. And then, I like that. Queen Anne's lace is my favorite weed. I like that. That's a cute little comment. I didn't ever think it was a weed, but maybe it is a weed. Anyway, and here is my one in the Magenta Madness. And I'm just going to bring over the green just because it's fun. It's got the powder on it, so I can't really do much with it without worrying about wiping it off, but I just love the colors. All the colors are so pretty. All right, so those are my first card design, and I don't know about you, I think it's pretty easy. So tell me what you think about this pattern versus this one. Do you have a preference? And then I also just realized there's one pattern I didn't show you. So the fourth pattern is these dots. That wouldn't work so well, I don't think, with the Queen Anne's lace. Too much going on in there. And I think the same with the words, just a little bit too much. There are other maybe more bold images that might work to stamp on these, but the Queen Anne's lace is delicate, so, you know, not necessarily the perfect thing. So I'm going to leave this here for 1 second, grab the other things I need for the next project, and you guys comment. Oh, you like Magenta Madness. Oh, you like the blue one. Oh, fun. Oh, one of each. I see somebody likes the bumblebee. All right, wonderful. I'm going to keep looking at your comments. But let's see. Next, we're going to bring in some other colors. This one uses instead the, what is the name of that designer paper? It's the In Good Taste Sweet, and I believe that's what the designer paper is called also. So let's get that one. Bring my things in for that. And I did 2 different versions of this other card. And the paper I used is this one, which is really just so subtle, right? And then the one on the back is these stone, what is it? They're not tiles, stone bricks, I guess. Anyway, I love some of the patterns in this designer paper. This is one of the papers that's actually on sale. It's a specialty paper because it's like a double size pack, but it has all kinds of beautiful images in them, photorealistic images in them, and I just love it. So for this one, instead of using heat embossing, I'm going to use my Memento Black, and just so that I don't mess myself up, I'm going to wash this stamp before I forget to, because I'm going to be using it as well. And the main flower image is done in Versamark, so I'm really not worried about washing that. Somebody tell me if you think that's a bad thing to do, but just don't worry about Versamark because it's just a sticky ink, you know, and it's clear, so no biggie. All right, so now I got my black, and I'm going to stamp my flower image on this. I was a little worried that it was going to be too busy, and actually, I have actually completed one on this side. So I'm going to do my focal piece using the other side, and then we'll get to compare and see what you guys think. It's always fun to do something different. Oh my goodness, you got that paper and you used it all up. Wow. You have been doing a lot of card making because it's a lot of paper. Good for you, Nancy. That's awesome. Oh, you got it as the taste of a sweet. Well, that's good because that was still a lot of paper, but not... I think it comes with 24 12 by 12 sheets, so yeah, that'd be a lot to use. But even a quarter of that is a lot, which is, of course, what you would have gotten in the taste of a sweet. Okay, so I'm doing a second image on the right, and then I'm going to do one more on the left, just a little bit of the top. Again, stamping my flowers so they're at 3 different heights, so the tall and then the medium and the short. Give it that natural kind of look. And then I'm going to use my Smoky Slate, which is really just going to give me kind of a tone on tone because this is pretty much Smoky Slate designer paper with a texture. I don't know if you guys can see that texture. It's subtle, but it's there. And then again, I'm going to stamp this over the top. We'll be able to see this image better here because it's not the white heat embossing, and The white heat embossing, of course, is raised up. So that also affects the ability of the ink to get in behind it as well. But with this, should be able to see it better. And it's really just supposed to be kind of a general matchup. It's not an exact matchup, right? So seeing a little bit of it is a good thing. All right, that's it for my ink and my stamping. And then I'm going to attach this to a piece of black cardstock. I almost hate to cover up this brick wall look, because I love this paper. But, you know, variety is the spice of life. So I got to show you more things. It does make it hard to give cards away when you make them all different, though, I have to say that. I sit and I look at the cards and I toil and torture. Would they like this one better, or would they like that one better? Am I the only one who does that? You guys let me know. Make different versions and then toil about which ones to give away. All right, so I've got a basic black card body, and again, adhesive on these two pieces here. Piece of Whisper White, 4 by 5 1/4, is going to just go right there on the front. I like the two-step stamps too, Nancy. It's really fun. Okay, so, and the dimension, of course, is the key factor there. It just gives you a lot of dimension. You can get multiple colors in an image too, which makes it especially fun. So I have dry embossed this with my 3D subtle embossing folder, my all-time favorite embossing folder, as you guys probably already know. Now, I just made it so that it would be 1/4 inch smaller than the white piece. I've got this subtle outside white layer, and just want to get it centered on there. I just love it. I love that embossing folder. Isn't that pretty? It's just like fabric. Makes me happy. Now this one, I'm also going to use some ribbon on, some of that crinkled seam binding again. This ribbon is also amazing because you can color it with Blends alcohol markers, or you know, in a variety of different ways. In this case, the white is just a perfect extra touch on both of these cards, so didn't need to color it in this case, but I could have. Always nice to know you could have, right? Ah, I see, Nancy, you do the same thing that I do. I love that. I love it when I'm not alone, doing what I do. Okay, again, holding that until last possible minute. You can see it's just such thin, lovely ribbon, ties so well, love it. And then I'm going to bow this up just ever so gently to move it to the side, because I want it to be off to the right and a little bit down. Okay. Just don't want to bend it, so just gently bowing it is all you need to do there. Okay. Now I have some dimensionals in a few spots on the back, and I just need a few more dimensionals. See what I got here. Now these are the black ones. We sell them in the variety pack of the large and the small black ones, and I always just completely use up the large ones, which is what's happened here. So just using the white ones. So I've got a combination back there. And here we go. I got to take them all off. Somebody should have timed me. Which is faster? We know which is faster. The big sheets are faster. Has anybody else tried those big foam adhesive sheets, and do you love them like I do? Let me know. Comment and let me know. Ah, All Things Fabulous stamp set. I don't know that one, Nancy. I'm going to have to look it up now. It's hard to know everything in our huge catalog. And then, of course, then we have the minis, too. It makes it really hard to keep track of everything. All right. So I got one additional touch here, and then my card is done. I'll show you the other version that I did as well. So I took a itty bitty piece of black cardstock and I heat embossed it in hello. Now, I just realized this hello is not the same hello. It's not from this set. And now I can't remember which it is from. It might be from the Forever Fern set, but I'll have to check. Anyway, I heat embossed it in silver just to kind of go with the grayish elements in here. And I have adhesive on the back. And then just like with the other one, I'm going to tuck it up in the upper left-hand corner for just that extra little accent. I'm almost wanting that to be black now, because now it's black at the top. Well, you know, I didn't know what it was going to look like. Because I didn't make this one. I just speculated it would be good. So anyway, here are my two final cards. So you can see the one done with the brick. It's definitely got that busier sort of background. And I just used the little thank you from the Hand Drawn Blooms set. And on this one, of course, did the black with the silver. So let me know which one you like. This one's definitely more subtle. Kind of wishing that was black. Like I said, maybe I really needed to dye it. And I just didn't know it. Yeah, comment and let me know. Love to see it. Anyway, they're both really simple cards. Having the designer paper to stamp on it to start with makes it, you know, especially easy to do it and do it quickly. So there's my set of cards for the day, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera facing me to finish up. And I can, oh, somebody likes the silver hello. I'm so glad. I think the thing with the silver hello is that it just makes me feel like that, you know, like the bottom, instead of being white, because there's not a lot of white on there, should be black. I don't know. It's like it's heavy on the top and light on the bottom. I don't know. That's my reaction, but it is what it is. You like the brick card because it's a little brighter. Okay, I see 2 votes for brick, 1 for the gray one. Okay, cool. Fun. So we had a colorful one, and we had a monochromatic black and gray design as well today. So just kind of fun to share a variety. I'm so glad you like both, Christy. Yay. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to pick. So anyway, I'm glad you guys like these projects. So I am assuming that you do. I think I've seen some positive comments out there. And we'll play with your designer paper and take advantage of some of the patterns that are on sale now. And do some stamping on designer paper. You guys may remember, oh yay, hearts, thank you somebody. Oh, more, makes me so happy. I did the designs on the Artistry Blooms designer paper, which has some wonderful textural backgrounds. We stamped on those with, in fact, the Hand Drawn Blooms stamp, that main image, to come up with some super simple, easy designs. So many possibilities when you're starting with designer paper that make it really, you know, easy to design. So I did want to do one thing I forgot to do last week, which was my building blocks of a design process. I did that the 2 preceding weeks, just to kind of take you through how I came to the designs that I came to, just for fun and for whatever it's worth in helping you with your design. I often hear people say it's just really hard to start, so this is my way of kind of trying to help you start and have your own process, which will be unique, of course. So for this design, I actually started, of course, knowing that I wanted to work with the Queen Anne's lace stamp set, and I had pulled out actually a card design made with the Dandelion Wishes stamp set, where I stamped on designer paper. And it's sort of a similar looking kind of stamp set. So that's how I got to doing the stamping with heat embossing on designer paper. I basically stole it from another design, similar layout in addition. So, you know, casing is definitely a good thing, even from yourself. So then started with the stamp set, then narrowed it down to the designer paper. I had to pick which designer paper I wanted to use. And of course I wanted a designer paper that had a subtle sort of in the background kind of pattern, which of course for those in colors and the taste, what is it called? The Indigo Taste papers have some of those. And then that helps me determine the color scheme. And again, a monochromatic color scheme makes it super easy to design. So that was my design choice number 3, was the color scheme. And then the layout, of course, like I said, I sort of stole it from my previous design, which was for this one, essentially that 3 3/4 by 5 focal piece, which takes up the whole thing pretty much and makes it really easy because you don't have to work with other elements or layout elements. And then, this one is it's just a variation, right? A smaller focal piece, but same basic design. And then, of course, embellishments, which in this case was just ribbon for me. So super easy design. And I challenge you to just take a design you see and, make it your own, right? Use your own stamps, figure out something that goes with it. And it's a lot easier than maybe it appears to some people. So I hope that's helpful. Comment and let me know if you want me to keep doing this building blocks of a design process, or if it's, you're okay with me not doing it, that's okay too. You just, let me know. Some feedback is always helpful, because I want to be providing content and material and information that you guys want. So, all right. So just a quick little recap of announcements, and then I'll let you go for the evening. Of course, the Designer Paper Series sale, all month long, 15% off. There are no limits on how much you can get or how many you can buy. So, go for it. Something you love, could get a lot of it, or you can. World Card Making Day is this Saturday, the 3rd. And what else? Stay tuned for information about my glazed mosaic technique class coming very, very soon. And if you need organizing supplies, make sure to check out the Stampin' Storage 15% off sale, which goes from now until October 5th, which is Monday. All right, I see a good positive response to doing the design process. That's wonderful. Oh, good, and another one. Wonderful. I'm so glad you guys see value in that. It's important for me to know. And as I mentioned last week, your time is valuable, and I appreciate that you're spending some of it with me. So thanks for being here, and come back next Thursday for more fun. Next Thursday is actually our sneak peeks for the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. The suite we're focusing on is the, what is it called? Magic in This Night. I just forget the name of that one. It's the Halloween themed one, but I will tell you now, my design has nothing to do with Halloween. I love that designer paper that comes with that suite because some of those patterns are just completely neutral and fun to work with. So you're going to definitely want to see those. And I've already figured out whose designs I'm going to remake with what I have because I've used almost all of that designer paper, the Magic in This Night that I had. I had 1/4 share for myself from the Taste of a Sweet share, so I didn't have a whole lot to play with. But it was plenty, and I've used a lot. I've made a lot of thank you cards with that designer paper, so stay tuned for more on that coming soon too. All right, so hope to see you next Thursday. You guys have a great, wonderful week. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, happy crafting. Bye, everybody. Bye.